Welcome back to the weekend preview here for Los Alamitos Racecourse. Now joined by the voice of Los Alamitos, Michael Wrona. Michael, it is the weekend of June 25th, which is the start of the day and night doubleheaders here for a couple of weekends here at Los Alamitos. We got the LA County Fair Meet for thoroughbreds during the daytime.
Yes, and looking forward to some daytime action on the larger layout. It's a challenge seeing them.
Yes.
It's an unusual configuration. You know, they kind of bend a little to the right as they head out toward the far turn at the end of the back stretch, and they're a long way from you, reaching the top of the home stretch. But always relish a challenge, Jose. And I'm kind of being eased into this bout of double headers because we've just got the Saturday and Sunday. And then it'll become a little more testing mentally and vocally the following weekend when we race Friday through Monday afternoon, culminating in the 4th of July. Ed Burke's birthday as well as Americans.
That's right. Ed Burke's birthday on July 4th. And also July 4th is the date of the on-track handicapping contest there at Los Alamitos, that Monday, special Monday of racing. All right, let's recap a little bit about what happened this past weekend at Los Alamitos. I want to bring up the running of the Ed Burke Miller Futurity because, you know, when we went through those trials, Michael, we kind of talked a little bit about them and what our thoughts were. And also this past weekend on your segment that you do on the Thoroughbred LA here, the local radio program, which, by the way, for the viewers out of state or watching this from, you know, different part of the country, you can podcast that show. If you go to Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to other podcasts, the Thoroughbred LA is available as a replay, I believe also on their online site. But the local radio show here in the Southern California market, Thoroughbred LA, you have a segment there, and you tap Party Politics as the nice winner of the Ed Burke Million.
I did indeed. And when we spoke on this program the week after the trials, I remember telling you how much I liked Party Politics, that to me, was the horse to follow out of the trials because he was the only finalist who finished near the inside rail. Everything else was down the middle of the track, Jose, and that just stood out to me as a potential bias, and I liked what the horse did in only his second race start. And when he came up with post position 8 outside the top 2 fancies and was 8-1 on the morning line, I thought, this will do me very nicely. And so I do the Saturday morning segment with Jay Privman on Thoroughbred LA, and you can actually listen live just by going to that website. There's a listen live tab at thoroughbredla.com. They're on from 9 till 10 on a Saturday morning. And so I threw it out there. I told Privman, this is my horse for the Ed Burke Million Futurity. The odds are good, and I'm pretty confident.
And he ran well, and he was able to prevail. And I think it opened the door when the 2 favorites drew side by side, and there was some bumping, and that kind of opened it up for someone else to come and take advantage of that early trove by the favorites. And it was Party Politics for Juan Aleman and Ramon Sanchez, the all-time leading rider in quarter horse stakes wins here at Los Alamitos. So congrats to the connections. Party Politics, I believe, went off at 10-1, a nice juicy price tab by Michael Wrona. Michael, the pressure is on. Not only are you going to be calling the double headers, but let's see if we can stay hot. Let's see if we can stay hot with the selection. Saturday night, during the nighttime quarter horse program, only 8 races on Saturday night. So a little bit more of a condensed program because we're kind of being used for those 10 races. But 8 races, early pick 4 immediately leads into the late pick 4 in race number 5. But I believe you got a selection for us in race number 1.
Alas, no 10-1. I found it hard, actually, to dance around a lot of the morning line favorites on Saturday night's card. And I always try to beat a morning line favorite. So I've landed on number 1 in race 1 on the nighttime card for Saturday, a horse called Fort Bridger in a 1,000-yard allowance. The number 2 horse, 2 Kids from the Bronx, is the 8-5 morning line favorite. Rail horse Fort Bridger is the 2-1 second choice. And ironically, they are former stablemates. They both were trained by Ryan Hansen. But when Fort Bridger made his Losal debut in a race in early April in a claiming event, he was taken from Hansen by Jorge Farias. And I found it interesting that Farias thought enough of the horse to then step him up into an allowance. And this is the race we have for you on May 15, when he was number 3 but broke from the inside after a pair of scratches.
And this for the players that know and follow Los Alamitos nighttime on a regular basis, this is about as big of a class hike as you can have, because you have the conditional claimers at 4.5 from 2,000, 32, 4,000, 5,000, and then you stepped up into the allowance, which is the top of the top, going 1,000 yards.
Yes, and in that claiming race, when he first started and was claimed by Jorge Farias on April 2nd, he was the odds-on favourite, but had some bumping at the start, and he ran on well, but he did not get the job done. And he was sent off at 6-1 on this occasion, and you can see throughout this replay he's been in an inside duel. He goes under narrowly. He finishes third, beaten only a half length, but he acquitted himself very well, stepping way up into this allowance event in quite good time. And I thought it was a good enough effort to want to play him back. Now, again, he's got gate 1. I don't like that. I also don't like the fact that Ricardo Ramirez is going to ride the 2-horse. Ramirez was on both horses last time out. So you're losing our leading thoroughbred jockey. So that to me, that's a pair of negatives. But the thing with 2 Kids from the Bronx, the morning line favourite, he's just out of his maiden win. And I find it curious, Jose, that they're removing the blinkers. It's not often you see an equipment change coming off quite a resounding, convincing, easy win. And so that struck me as a little bit curious. I've got a feeling that if Henry Lopez can get Fort Bridger going right from the get-go, that the horse has a chance to find the lead, and the favourite 2 Kids from the Bronx will be doing the chasing. And based on how game Fort Bridger was last time, he might just have a little edge tactically, despite having gate 1.
Well, that inside post, the positive is that he has experience for that inside post, like we just saw on the backtrack. Hopefully he ends up running a good effort again here on Saturday night. That is race number 1, Fort Bridger, back in an allowance spot after running fairly well last time out. And he was coming off a bit of a layoff as well. They claimed him in early April, came back in the middle of May, so had plenty of time in between starts.
Yeah, there's a query horse on the outside, Sinsa P, stepping up to a hook race for the first time, broke the maiden at 5:50, so probably will show some speed. But we've seen instances of this type of horse struggling to get around the turn too effectively in some of these first outings around the turn. So I've just got a sense that Fort Bridger can be making his own luck, hopefully not taking too much pressure mid-race, and he might get away with it. He's slightly better odds than the horse Ramirez is riding, 2 Kids from the Bronx, who's straight out of his maiden win. So let's see if we can just get the ball rolling with race 1, number 1 on the nighttime card.
Well, that'll be a great way to begin the program there on Saturday night. Again, reminder, fans, there is going to be doubleheaders starting this weekend for a few weekends here at Los Alamitos. This weekend, the daytime races on Saturday, Sunday, following week, Thursday through Monday, and then the final week will be Friday through Sunday. And Mike will be calling all of those races both day and night, and hopefully giving us plenty of winners. Michael, thank you so much for that Fort Bridger, and hopefully you stay hot.
Hope so, mate. Hooroo.
Major Southern California Thoroughbred Racing returns to beautiful Orange County on Saturday, June 25th. It's the LA County Fair meet at the Los Alamitos Racecourse. The Bertrando Stakes heads the opening day card. The meet will also feature a special holiday program on Monday, 4th of July. The Grade 2 Great Lady M Stakes will head the 4th of July card. Past winners of this outstanding race for fillies and mares include champions Gamine and Finest City, and the outstanding Marley's Freedom. And horse players, a live money on track NHC qualifier is also set for the 4th of July. Daytime Thoroughbred Racing at Los Alamitos. Opening day, Saturday, June 25th.
Yes, that's a few next weeks of doubleheaders here, daytime and nighttime at Los Alamitos. Stay tuned for plenty of thoroughbred daytime racing, and also our year-round quarter horse season continues. All right, now pleased to be joined by Christopher Witt, your Los Alamitos analyst there on track during the paddock and through the simulcast signal all night long. Chris, first, your thoughts on that Ed Burke Millie Futurity final. What you think of that nice winner by Juan Aleman?
Well, horse, he broke well in like his trial. He had run left to give. He broke well. He's finishing steadily and ran a solid race. He just got outrun by a horse that I really liked, who had all that trouble and finished very strongly, but got fractious inside the gate and lifted and blew his best chance. He was loaded late. But that's the second $1 million race that Ramon Sanchez has put in the docket in the last month or so.
Yeah, he won the Reynoso Futurity, maybe 10 days ago? Maybe, I think it was a week before last.
Yeah, it was a week ago with my
yeah.
top choice at Odds Boy. He won well as my top choice. I couldn't believe 7-2. That was a heck of a price.
Yeah, so Ramon Sanchez is willing it back like, it's 2022. It feels like it's 2002. That's how it feels. Ramon Sanchez turning back the clock here with a couple of $1 million wins in the last week and a half or so. All right, Chris, let's take a look at your selection that you want to review here. And it's race number 5, right?
Yeah, race number 5. This horse has got a ton of talent. He just really does. Mad Tool. This horse was an A- worker prior to a debut with tons and tons of trouble. This horse has got a lot of ability. You notice even despite having beaten the multiple lengths, the rider stays with him because he knows this horse can run. It's just a matter of getting out of the gate. He showed a ton of talent in all three races off the really good workout pattern. And in that last race, 27 nights ago, this horse got a little fractious in the gate. Breaking for post number 3, broke very slow, was bumped back, crossed, took up, had to angle out, and was locked and loaded the final half of the affair of that trial. It was very impressive performance, all that trouble. Broke slow in, bumped back and crossed, took up right here. He's got run. It's just a matter of having some room to run. If he gets away decently, having to take up right about here, right there, and then angling out. Just look at this. He's got a lot of run. He had all that trouble, beaten like a length and 3/4, and then he gallops out very, very strong. He's got a lot of talent. It's just a matter of getting out of the gate and showing that talent and drawing on the rail. He could have a clear path away. He could break a little bit slow and show that big turn of foot midway, and we can run back that ability in this 5th event there at 7-2 on the program. He's up against a couple of very well-bred, well-met first-time starter to the outside. We're talking about Terrific Phoenix, who's out of the broodmare. Terrific Energy, whose broodmare's first-time starters win at a 28% rate. And, of course, that workout Apolitical Fire put up there for Paul Jones at 12-2 solo was in problem. It was obviously a team drill, but was locked and loaded with run up to give. So there's talent to the outside. But if this horse could just get out of the gate and run the workouts, run the ability he can show late, he's got a big look there at 7-2 in the program from the inside post.
And this is the second time that he will be wearing the flipping halter. He did have the flipping halter in that replay that we just shown. But even, after getting all that trouble, he still had run behind horses. So it's just a matter of being able to break with them, right?
Yeah, if he just breaks with them, he can show that big turn of foot. 350, 330, 350, I love it. 300 yards, he's got to get away a little bit better. But if he breaks decently, he's got a chance at 7-2 on the program up against some well-bred, well-met first-time starters to the outside.
All right, that will be Chris's selection for Saturday night, race number 5. By the way, that is the start of the late pick 4 with the 8-race program. Let's see if Matt Toole can finally break well there from that inside post. Jesus Ayala sticking aboard kind of tells us that there is talent there, right, Chris?
Yeah, he's sticking aboard. He knows this horse can run. It's just a matter of getting out of the gate and running that ability. And if he can do it, he's got a big look there against some first-time starters well met to the outside.
Are you tackling any of the racetracks for the simulcast program there?
Yeah, we're doing Delta Downs. They have trials all day Saturday night. I think for one of the Futurities. It's Futurities. They got to have eight trials. So we're tackling races 3 through 8. So we're trying to help you along with them 2-year-olds. Got some well-meant first-time starters, some trouble horses we're looking at. So hopefully try to help you along the way with our races 3 through 8 at Delta Downs on Saturday.
You can find Chris's analysis for the simulcast signals in the print edition of the Night Lights program. If you can't get it on track or various satellite wagering facilities throughout the state, you can actually get the digital edition at losalamitos.com and download it, and it's just like the print edition, and you can consume the information that way. So, Chris, best of luck with Matt Toole, and best of luck with your selections all this weekend here at Los Al. I'll see you out there this Saturday.
All right, boss. You have a good night.
The traditional $2 Pick 6 at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. On Sunday, June 5th, the Pick 6 had a season-high payout of over $76,000, and the total Pick 6 pool was over $128,000. On March 27th, the total Pick 6 pool was a meets best $320,000. Plus, on Sunday nights when there's not a carryover, Los Alamitos continues to add $10,000 to the Pick 6 pool. Talk about some good old-fashioned Pick 6 excitement. The traditional $2 Pick 6, a great bet, a great deal, always at Los Alamitos.
Let's recap last week's Ed Burke Millie Futurity, which went to the talented runner Party Politics, trained by Juan Aleman, also owned by Juan Aleman in partnership with with his family, with his parents and friends. Let's take a look at this replay here for the Ed Burke Millie Futurity last weekend here at Los Al.
Racing! Ain't he tempting and quirky, but he just might have brushed leaving the gate. Party Politics, Navaja off quickly from DKAA. Near the inside, Apolitical Jet, Eleventorero. It's Ain't He Tempting, Party Politics. Party Politics drawing to the front. And Party Politics gives Ramon Sanchez a fourth. Ed Burke Million Futurity out finishing Ain't He Tempting.
Congratulations to Ramon Sanchez, Juan Aleman, and all the people involved here with the ownership of Party Politics, your 2022 winner of the Ed Burke Million Futurity. Professor G caught up here with Juan Aleman.
We only were able to get a 220-yard work and then a race for 220. So his trial was the first time he's ran 350 yards coming off a 220 work. So I knew he was going to be a little short in that race. But in the final, the way he pulled up, I knew, even Ron said, this horse, his next time out, it's going to be tough in the final. We just need a clean break.
You got that clean break too, didn't you?
We got a clean break, and we knew this horse could finish strong. So.
You certainly showed it in the last half of this race too. Yeah. What was the setback that you had?
You know what? He got a little infection. So a little.
On a foot or on a?
No. It was a
bronchial.
Yeah. He got a little sick on us. Nothing major, but we had to give him time off. So.
Was that before or after the 220?
That was after the 220.
So that was in the middle of April.
Yeah, you could see he had like a 30-day.
Yeah, between the trial and the obviously.
So with this horse, be honest, this horse was a question mark to run in the trial. So let's go for it.
How did he behave after the trial? You mentioned he was pulled up well.
Oh, he pulled up great. I mean, a little tired, which I knew he was going to be a little tired. But those 3 weeks, he recuperated great, never was off his feed, was doing just great. Pointing to this race, I would have been happy if we would have split the field, but we won it. So.
Major Southern California Thoroughbred Racing returns to beautiful Orange County on Saturday, June 25th. It's the LA County Fair meet at the Los Alamitos Racecourse. The Bertrando Stakes heads the opening day card. The meet will also feature a special holiday program on Monday, 4th of July. The Grade 2 Great Lady M Stakes will head the 4th of July card. Past winners of this outstanding race for fillies and mares include champions Gamine and Finest City, and the outstanding Marley's Freedom. And horse players, our live money on track NHC qualifier is also set for the 4th of July. Daytime thoroughbred racing at Los Alamitos. Opening day, Saturday, June 25th.
Burns Ranch Stallions are strong in major stakes. Favorite Cartel sized 7 Grade 1 qualifiers in a single weekend.
DKAA will go 2 for 2, defeating Apolitical Jet.
Walk Through Fire also sired an Ed Burke finalist. He and Separate Interest each qualified 2 for the Los Alamitos Oaks. Burns Ranch also stands Fly Through the Fire, Mental Error, Foose, and MP Shining. Let Burns Ranch help you plan your racing future.
Let's take a look at a couple of the races for Saturday night's program here at Los Alamitos. We'll start with race number 5, which is the start of the late pick 4. There's a couple of nice first-time starters here, and drawn towards the outside part of the gate. That I want to show the workouts here for these two runners. This is a 300-yard maiden event, straight maidens. Christopher Wade previewed their Mat 2 on the replay there of that 4th place finish. But I want to show the workouts of two specific runners here. Terrific Phoenix and Apolitical Fire. Terrific Phoenix out of that terrific mare, Terrific Energy. The name fits that mare very well because she has produced many, quite a few 6-figure earners. Kind of the standout comes to mind is that terrific runner, Thermonuclear Energy. The family is more known kind of to get better once they stretch out to longer distances, but she has been a terrific producer, just like her name says, Terrific Energy. But here's the workout for Terrific Phoenix. Terrific Phoenix was on the outside of this 2-team set here on June 11th. 12:50 was the given time for Terrific Phoenix. This one trained by James Glenn Jr. for the Parsons Family Limited Partnership. This one good clean beginning on the outside. You can see kind of takes a few yards to get into a rhythm, but then really begin to stride out and turn it on in the second half of the work. Ends up pulling away by about a length. A nice tight hold there past the finish line. But just the movement, once he kind of leveled out, you can see that he was doing it fairly easy. 12:50 workout for Terrific Phoenix out of that very good producing mare, Terrific Energy. The other first-time starter on the outside is Apolitical Fire. This one is by Apolitical Blood out of Fire in the Curl. Paul Jones trains this one for Parsons Ranch owners and breeders. Couple of local workouts, 12:50 on May 24th, and then most recently June 7th, a terrific drill of 12:20, the best out of 15 times. And here's the workout for Apolitical Fire. Apolitical Fire was on the outside of this 2-team set here, and he's gonna break okay on the outside, not super fast, but he gets out well. And then right here, it's been begins to really set onto a good rhythm and completely dust away with this competition here in the mornings. And the rider is not moving at all. Good professional workout, good gallop out, nice energy, 12:20 without being asked. There seems to be plenty of talent for this promising 2-year-old colt by Apolitical Blood, and looks to be ready to go first time out here for the barn of Paul Jones. So that's a couple of workouts for race number 5 on Saturday night. Terrific Phoenix and Apolitical Fire. Let's skip ahead to the concluding race of the Saturday night program at Los Alamitos. It is going to be the running of the Down with Depth overnight handicap in race number 8, 330 yards. This handicap for the 3-0 fillies at a distance of 330 yards, purse of 17,500. Hitters count comes out of a career best effort when narrowly missing by a nose to fellow rival Daytona 1000, which is also in this field. Love the Evening has some of those running lines that I think fit fairly well here on her best efforts. Kind of give her a pretty good run here if she can break it well with this field. She was a winner of the Autumn Handicap back in October of last year. Jesus Rios Ayala takes over the call here tonight. Ron Bayo Cartel was actually the favorite against Being Difficult in that allowance event on May 28th. She just didn't break as quick as she has shown before. She was in gate 9, so she had a pretty good gate that night, and that's why she took the majority of the betting public. Kind of was in agreement that she should have run a little bit better than what she did. She ended up getting beat about a length. I mean, she's shown pretty good gate speed before. Even this race kind of stands out where she was going through 50 and she was caught late, but she was in the mix pretty much throughout at 17-1. So she has been a little bit inconsistent. Being Difficult, 3 for 5, very good. 3 for 5, very good resume. A 4th and a 3rd, and those have been with trouble. So if it wasn't for the trouble, she would be having a sparkling resume here. It's already a very good resume, and she looked very sharp, winning in 15:41. She looks like the horse to be, without a doubt, for Henry Lopez and James Glenn. Remorza, she'll be expected a price. She's been a pretty nice price throughout. She's been inconsistent. There is some gate speed, but she's been beaten by a couple of these same rivals in recent starts. Daytona 1000 rallied and got up just in the nick of time. Got the best of the bob there to upset Hitter's Count. Hitter's Count was a big price. Daytona 1000, I believe, was the second choice, right around 2-1, nearly 5-2 that night. Oscar Painado has been aboard, and her resume has been very good. 4 wins, a 2nd and a 3rd. So she's fairly in the mix pretty much every single night she hits the racetrack. Outside of Being Difficult, who I think is most likely the horse to beat, I think this might be the price to try to beat her. World Famous Mia. She was the betting favorite last time out in a field of 6. She drew the inside post, which is, could be a good post to avoid trouble, but it's not always the best post. If you don't have the early quickness, it can be a little bit intimidating to kind of pass horses late along the inside, but she ran okay. I mean, she was expected to do much better because she was a favorite, but I thought it wasn't too bad of a 3rd place finish. And the key for me is that, her maiden win, which was back in September, she won by a length going through 50. She's been fairly competitive, but that night she broke on top. She led throughout, widened her advantage at 11-1 with Cruz Mendez. And the key was that she did it from gate 8 in a field of 8. Outside post for her, that was where she was most comfortable. She ran into Too Tough in the Futurity off of that trial. Wasn't able to fire in November. Took a break till March. Showed some gate speed, kind of flattened out. Got tired with a little bit of bump. And then last time she drew the rail. I like that she's switching to the outside. And, this is where she won her maiden diploma. Cruz Mendez stays aboard. She had previously worked in 1810 before making that first start. And I think if there's anyone that would probably try to upset Being Difficult, I think this could be a nice price of World Famous Mia. Let's take a look at that replay there for May 7th for World Famous Mia. Here's World Famous Mia on the inside post. She was the betting favorite this night. They were going 300 yards. And I thought she got out to a clean start, good enough start there from the rail. She was, in contention here, right here at the gap. Cruz Mendez is asking for a better response, but she just wasn't sharpened at that night. It was a good, clean trip throughout. She ends up missing 2nd by a short head there in the end. Final 8th of that race, was 9.82. But she was still finishing with interest. She galloped out nicely there past the finish line. So it was a clean, troubled, free trip, but she wasn't as sharp as the betting public expected her to do so. I just think switching to the outside, second time off the brief layoff, I think we'll see an improved performance. And to me, she might be the price to possibly upset the expected favorite, being difficult. So that's a look at a few of the races for Saturday night at Los Alamitos, and here for this 8-race program during the nighttime program. Thank you to Mike Wrona, Christopher Wade. Professor G was providing some audio clips for the reaction of the connections of party politics. And again, congratulations to Juan Aleman and his family and friends involved in that partnership of party politics. Thank you for tuning into the program. Before we let you go, we want to remind you that Saturday, July 16th is the running of the Winter Nationals. The Winter Nationals return here at Los Alamitos. Always a fun event for the entire family. Before we sign out, why don't we leave you here with a couple of hopefuls that we are expected to see on Winter Nationals night here on Saturday, July 16th. Enjoy. We'll see you out there at the races at Los Alamitos.